The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums,
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, move, move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. Want to apologize to y'all first because I am a little bit under the weather, but I'm here with y'all today. And you know I can't do it without my partner in crime, the one and only George Peppers. What up, GP?
What's up, JB? It's good to be with you tonight. We got an interesting bevy of topics to discuss. It's a drafting season. The NFL draft is next week. Something happened a few days ago that could greatly impact the Saints draft plans for next Thursday. And of course, last night was the WNBA draft. You know, a lot of generational talents in that draft and everything else. So, but we start with a little bit of somber news, JB.
That's right. Everybody got the news on Sunday morning about Karen Lacey passing away at the age of 24. And we want to send condolences to each and every one of his loved ones. And that's family and friends. That's what we want to do first of all. You know, my memory of Karen Lacey is what I always saw on Instagram. Somebody that was just happy to be around people. He loved people that was around him. It's not even about the football field. It's about seeing videos of him and just being a happy soul around the ones that he loved. If it was his brothers on the football field, if it was family members, he was just like a happy soul to be around people. You saw the video where he was very happy for Malik and Jaden Daniels when they got drafted last year. That's, you know, when I see Karen Lacey, that's the Karen Lacey I know. I don't know him personally, but that's what when I see, that's what I think of Karen Lacey. One of our good fans, DJ13, posted a picture with Karen Lacey. He said, man, that he went out there for a game or something, and he said Karen Lacey was the best thing he saw on a football field. And he went and talked to him, and he said, just so happened they ran into each other, and he said, Karen Lacey, remember who he was. And that's kind of what I get from Karen Lacey when I see, you know, videos of him, like I said, around friends and family. George Peppers.
I don't know how to follow that, really, to be honest, because I echo what you just said about the, offering up our condolences and prayers from on behalf of the Hash It Out Show. We offer it to you, to the Lacey family. That young man was special in every way, and again, I didn't have a personal relationship with him either. But again, I saw the same thing you saw. You know, his happiness and everything else. An incredible football player, was all about the team and not about himself. He was basically, if I guess this is the right terminology, a throwback kind of player mentally, because he wasn't. You know, you got these pompous ones that are all about the name, not the name on the back of the jersey instead of the ones in the front. Tyron Lacey was none of that. He was all about the team. And as you mentioned, the memory of JD5 and Malik Neighbors getting taken in the NFL draft, sadly, a turn of events, obviously obviously curtail that. And the only thing I'll say is that the cycle of life is broken because now his parents have to bury a child. And please, for all of you out there that want to get involved and do some dumb stuff and doubt and all that stuff, give the family respect. Let them grieve. Let's not speculate and I'm speaking as an LEO now, not as a sportscaster, as a law enforcement officer. Please let the family grieve and stop speculating. Well, he did this because of that. He did this. I've seen a little bit of that post the news on Sunday, and as an LEO, it disgusts me. It really does. So I just want to say to his family again, what you just said. Our condolences and our prayers go out to you, the Lacey family, and Kyron Lacey. Godspeed, man. Rest in peace.
Most definitely, man. Prayers to the Lacey family, to all of his friends and family, definitely. And I think we got VK popping in right now, so we can get VK in here. What's up, VK? How you doing, man?
Yo, what's up?
What's happening, man? What's
I'm
happening?
good. I'm good.
We
You know,
just gave our condolences about Kyron Lacey. We talked about a memory that we had of him. What you want to say about Kyron Lacey?
well, I mean, Conor Lacey, he was really unbelievable athlete. Really, just he was a real hard worker that just really was trying to make it. He was really trying to just get where he needed to be and everything else. It was really tough, for him for what I'm saying, especially where he came from, and also if people just didn't know, he was like a basketball player first. He was a basketball player first, and then all of a sudden he got some way somehow they got him on the football field, and when he got on the football field, he things started really really changing from there because he was already a good athlete. He gets on the field and he just straight up blows up out there on the football field. True two sport athlete, and amazing in itself of what he's done in his career. So it's really, he really just came out there and just took care of what he had to take care of and made it at LSU, and big ups to a lot of the people who really got him to where he needed to be. And he, going from there, and I still ain't forgetting, shout out to one of the guys, Jeremiah Gray. I mean, got him in the room got him in the room in LSU to just discuss and see things and that visit, and he had to do some thinking, and he made the decision like, I think this is the place I want to be. So he really dedicated his career and his life to try to do what he had to do at LSU and be a Tiger and try to make it to the next level, man. Now he was a great all around athlete, and he was trying to represent LSU well and represent his family well.
Well said, VK. Well said. All right, guys. Excuse me, y'all. As we move on, to drive, park, or trade a car. That's the decision the Saints have to make. To drive, park, or trade a car. And this Derek Carr news is just, to me, something else. All of a sudden come out that you have a shoulder injury. Okay. How did this happen? When did it happen? Where did it happen? What's going on? So now the Saints are in what people will call, George, a pickle. Because now maybe the Saints weren't going for a quarterback. Now, Derek Carr's hurt. We got to change our options. Now we might have to go to a quarterback. We might have to go get Shedeur Sanders. We got to see. We got to make a decision. And then on a podcast today, Diana Rossini says that Derek Carr isn't hurt. That Derek Carr didn't want the Saints to draft another quarterback, and he knew that that's where the Saints were going. So Derek Carr says, I'm just going to say we're hurt. My guys are leaking out whenever they feel like leaking it out, and hopefully the Saints will trade me. That's from the words of Diana Rossini. Now, it's a lot to put in this whole situation. Let me get going first. If Derek Carr did this just to get traded, after the Saints have restructured his deal, boy, Derek Carr needs to be slapped straight up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We didn't restructure your deal, and you pulling this. You might as well just sort of told the Saints, hey, go ahead and trade me. If I'm not part of your future plans, go ahead and trade me. Straight up. The Saints wouldn't be in a pickle like this. But no, Mickey Loomis, he was loyal to you, dedicated to you, telling everybody that you are our quarterback. You are QB1. Well, all New Orleans out here, they just don't care for you because they think you're a middle tier to a bottom tier garbage quarterback. If you did this to put the Saints in this situation, man, you need to be slapped. The players on the team need to confront you. Michael Thomas, go ahead on Twitter and say what you got to say about Derek Carr like you've been saying. Just go ahead and do it. I'm sorry, bro. If he ain't got an injury and he put this story together for this to happen, I've lost respect for Derek Carr as a person. As a person. Now, the Saints got to change up what they had planned to do. They got to get a quarterback. And you know what the Saints looking at today? The Giants working out Shedeur Sanders? We may have to move up to number 2 and number 3. Just forget him. Because the Giants looking at him, and they got a private workout with him. Well, hold up. Now there's even more pressure on the Saints. Because the Giants might take him. Even though the Giants got Russell and Jameis Winston. So now the Saints like, we gotta do something. The Saints got exactly a week and 2 days to make some moves and move up if they plan on it. Because Derek Carr has put you in an unfortunate circumstance. If it's true that he put this plan together. Now, if he did put the plan together and hurt himself some type of way, okay, hey, it is what it is. Freak accidents happen. But if he did do this, and Diana Rossini is telling the truth, GP, I lost respect for that man. Go ahead, GP.
Too bad you don't have the 7-second button next to you. Because the things I'm thinking about right now, the bombs might be dropping. I'll just say it, dude. But let's make this understood. First of all, Diana Rossini is a credible ESPN reporter. No fly-by-night. She is very credible, a lot of integrity, and everything else. So if before we start saying, well, what if she's full of it? Maybe the loyal Saints fans are saying, oh, she's full of BS. Check your sources before you do all that. If Derek Carr did this as a person, I think he's a POS. Okay, I'll keep it that way. I'm not going to say it, but you basically can figure it out. Papa Oscar Sierra. All right. That being said, what do you do if you're New Orleans? Because the Giants now, I think this is poker face what the Giants are doing. I don't think they're going to draft Shedeur Sanders. I've been reading the New York, I read the New York Daily News now closer to the draft, being a Giants fan and checking, stuff and all that stuff. Personally, to the Giants' perspective, if they work a Shedeur out, I don't think they're going to take him. I really don't. I think that pick is for sale, but it would be a foolish move unless somebody gives you a bat load of picks. They better give you a lot of capital to go to 3. Because if I'm Joe Shane, Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter is going to be there. I'm taking one of them. I'm not moving unless you give me everything. You better give me a lot for that, not whatever, if you're New Orleans. And Mickey may just be dumb enough to sell the draft for Shedeur. He might be dumb enough to sell the whole draft. Look, and I have the biggest Shedeur Sanders defender here. The dude's completion percentage is no lower than 74% in 3 years as a starter. Accuracy is very big at the next level, but I hear people say, well, his arm is pop gun. He doesn't make good decisions. I'm like, well, 74% completion percentage tells me he makes good decisions. But for Derek Carr, they restructured your deal, dude. If you did this, you are to me a 12 to 17 quarterback, meaning 12 to 17, 12 being the maximum. That's where I got you. You're not a difference maker. You're an average quarterback. You're not bad, but you're not great. And if you decide to engineer this, that team's gonna you'd have lost the locker room, dude. You've lost the locker room. That locker room is gonna be like, Sierra Oscar Bravo. What kind of nonsense are you pulling? I mean, this is what's up, Chunk Hunt. Um, I- Jared, I mean, would it be easy to just trade him? I mean, because they did
Like
restructure the deal and they saved a bunch of money on the restruct.
like I said,
So
if he felt that the Saints were drafting a quarterback, and supposedly from Diana Rossini, he knew this, and this is why he planned this. Supposedly, he should have just asked for a trade. You really gonna concoct a story that you got hurt? Supposedly,
see, okay. First of all, let's address the story. Okay, let's address that part because OTAs don't start till the week after the draft. Correct? Your
yeah.
OTAs off-season training activities start the week after the draft. So unless you've got a private workout that we don't know about, maybe where this injury happened, I thought this story was garbage to begin with. I thought it was a lie that he got hurt because he had the whole off season. The off season's not. I mean, up into the free agency period to rehab, and his injury wasn't debilitating. He was going to be fine by training camp, by all that stuff. So to me, when I first saw that he's hurt, Ian Rappaport, another credible journalist who's very good at sourcing and everything, he's very credible, put that story out that he was injured. And I'm like, how? That was what I was telling my guys at work. The guys
He
that
was
work
in
with me, they're
Paris
like, what do you
last week.
think?
He was in Paris
And,
last week, Paris,
and
France.
exactly. Exactly. So my guys are like, "What do you think?" I said, I think it's a crock. I don't think he's injured." They're like, "Why you say that?" I said, "Because OTAs don't start till the week after the draft, and unless there was a private workout we don't know about where he suffered an injury, but you're in shorts, there's no contact. You just throw in the receivers. And why would you schedule a workout before the draft when the draft could produce for you some really good receivers in this draft? Ted McMillan, Luther Burden, guys like that. Now, difference makers that can pair up with Olave and really help you on the perimeter. So I personally think this shoulder injury, I think Diana Rossini's onto something here. I think this is all a big lie by Derek Carr. Now, if it's to facilitate a move out of New Orleans, you've already lost the locker room, Mickey Loomis. Derek's already lost the locker room. You've got to cut bait with this dude because that locker room is looking at him and saying, if he's doing that to get out of here, what kind of a man is he? What kind of a leader is he? And you're surely not going to go into the next season with Spencer Rattler as your starting quarterback. 0-6, So VK, I don't know if you're with us,
He's
but
there.
let me turn it to you, dude. I mean, he's not. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But Jared, I personally,
Yeah.
is he?
He's there. Yeah, he's there.
I was trying to pass it
I hear
off.
you. I hear
Okay.
you. Yeah, pass the VK.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
dude. I personally think VK, this is a crock. I don't think that shoulder is anywhere near hurt, and I think Diana Rossini's onto something.
Hearing this, I just cannot believe this. I like when you said Diana Rossini, I'm like, oh my God. Diana Rossini is a veteran, a big time veteran. And I know she ain't just saying it. No, this is facts. When it's coming out of her mouth, it's like, uh-oh, what's really going on here? So hearing this more than anything else, it just made me think more than anything. And I'm sorry, I don't care if the Saints in cap hell. It's time for that fool to go. Plain and simple, there are 3 athletes I didn't just seen in the past couple of years. The defensive back from freaking the Chicago Bears who gave up that damn Hail Mary. I'm shocked he's still playing for the Chicago Bears because that should have been his last check. Get out of here, dude. Get the pink slip. Nah, you gone, bro. The other athlete is the athlete. I think he's number 40 or the dude who did not attempt the box out on LeBron James from the Indiana freaking Pacers. If you look at that tapping, he didn't even one time touch him. Dude, give me your check.
Was that Siakam?
Get out of here, dude. Give me your check. Bruh, if you don't, I want people to, I'll take a loss, but you got to give an effort. Give an effort. You don't give an effort, you don't even try? Get on my team. That's you're poison. Right then and there, what I'm seeing from Derek Carr, Curtains, dog. I don't care how much of a cap I take. Curtains, bro. Give me your stuff, turn in your playbook, all that out the door. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's how I look at it. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It just and I know in Mickey Loomis, he might pull the Mike Ditka thing that Ricky Williams and give up everybody and get Shador. I wouldn't be surprised that happens. I hope he's not that crazy, but he's capable. Think about it. The idiot GM just why is he still here? I'm just saying, though, bro. That's why I'm sorry. Things is just not looking good right now, and things are just getting worse. I'm like this. The New Orleans Saints is officially becoming a dumpster freaking fire, and it's sad. It's truly sad. I'm a Saints fan, and I'm being honest. Is I don't know what, man. Look, we're gonna be unadulterated, straight trash until this administration is changed.
Let me get in here right quick. So, like I said, supposedly, this is from Diana Rossini. Supposedly, I don't want to put the wrong thing out there, but if he did do this, man, this dude is something wrong. This dude, if you don't want to be here, then leave. Ask for a trade. If you are that upset because you heard the Saints are going to draft a quarterback, so now your job is threatened, then sit there and say, hey, go ahead and trade me. This is not what I came here for. I came here to be the new franchise quarterback. That's it. I don't understand how hard that is if your feelings are hurt if the Saints were going to draft a quarterback. I mean, this is a business. At the end of the day, the NFL is a business, buddy. Okay? It's a business. If you were doing things like Drew Brees, hey, we're not having this conversation. But you're not. You've gotten players hurt. So you're hurt. So now the Saints are looking towards the future. They are. Who is our future? Maybe it's Shedeur Sanders. And you don't like that, just say you won't be traded, buddy. That's it. If, and I say if again, you put this story together, kind of like that's childish. If you're not hurt and you put this story together, that is so childish. Because I don't think it's hard to walk into the GM's office and say, hey, I won't be traded. I don't think that's hard. Well, that's 4 words. I want 5. I want to be traded. I don't think that's hard at all. But let's get to the so-called injury. Okay. How did he hurt himself if he did? Like I said, freak accidents can happen, George. Freak accidents can happen. Something could happen in Paris. We don't know. But it's funny, though, that Ben Roethlisberger was on a show last month and didn't say no names, but he did say there's a quarterback, a starting quarterback for a franchise who's injured. He didn't say any names. What the hell did he know? Now, apparently, here's Derek Carr hurt. But then here's Diana Rossini saying it's a story he made up. Time will tell, GP and VK. Time will tell if this guy is really hurt or if he isn't hurt. Because apparently, he's going to need surgery. And if he doesn't need surgery, then we can sit here and speculate, hey, he ain't hurt. He ain't hurt at all. George?
Okay. I mean, because it sounds to me like you want to wait and see, and I get that, but time is of the essence because the draft is next Thursday. Okay.
It's not about wait and see. It's that the Saints got to make a decision now. And I don't think the Saints' first option was getting a quarterback. I don't think that was. But now
I don't either. I think
they have been force-fed to go get a quarterback now.
Now, and with the Giants working Shedeur on Thursday, again, I believe that's a smokescreen. I don't think the Giants have any intention of taking Shador, which a month ago, if you would have asked me, I would have loved it, and I still would love it. But they've got Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston to hold them over for what they hope is their next generational guy in Arch Manning, and I have my doubts about Arch, and they'll be addressed future, not now. I think the Giants are doing this to basically put the pick up for sale, and I hope that's not the case because you got generational talent at 2 and 3 between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. Whoever doesn't go to, you better go get one of them because that's a franchise changing kind of player. Shador eventually will be a heck of a player at the next level. So the Giants are in a good position and be like, okay, New Orleans, yeah, I want to bust up. Don't give us Derek Carr, but we'll take your first round pick. We'll take your second round pick and whatever else you want to offer us. If you want to do the Ricky Williams deal, I think Mickey could be that stupid to do it. I really do. Because desperate people do desperate things. Now you've got a brand new coach. How do you think Kellen Moore feels about this, y'all? How do you think the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints feels? He's like, that's not my guy. My first inclination about Kellen Moore is like, no, bro, you got to go. I don't want you in my room. I don't want you in my locker room if you're going to pull that foolishness. I'm the first time head coach of the New Orleans Saints. There's no way you're going to put me with that dude when he's sitting there spewing this nonsense, talking about, if he's trying to get traded, get him out of here. But here's the problem: who are the Saints going to get? Because a lot of your stopgap veterans have already locked in jobs. You could get Tommy DeVito. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm kidding when I say that. Hey, look, he's expendable. I'm just kidding about that. Being a Giants fan, hey, look, y'all can have him for give us whatever, I don't know, a seventh. Anyway, but that's the thing, VK. I want to put into this discussion is Kellen Moore because he is now the newly minted head coach of the New Orleans Saints. How do you think he feels that his starting quarterback is like, I don't want to be here? And this is not Kellen Moore's guy at all. Kellen Moore gets athletic guys. Get him. What do you think he's feeling, VK? If I were him, I'd be like, say, man, I don't need you. You got to go. I'm going to get my guy, and we're going to rock and roll from here, VK.
I agree. I really think Kellen Moore is probably feeling some type of way right now, and I wouldn't be surprised he probably met up with Mickey Loomis and probably Gail Benson, and it's like, what is going on here? Like I can understand. I'm like, okay, I can understand. Okay, he's hurt. All right. Okay, what we working with next? What we got to do? We got to move. We got to see like we got to move on this season. Then all of a sudden, now you're hearing that possibility that this could be a farce, and it's like, okay, why in the world he's still here? Why he's still? I'm like, there's something's got to happen. Something's got to give, and I think that's what Kellen Moore is thinking right now. Something got to give, Mickey Mouse. Something got to give. Because I'm not liking what's going on. And he's probably thinking deep down inside, like, okay, these people are maybe setting me up to fail. So somebody, you gotta make something shake. Don't make something shake. Might have some problems early.
Well, the Saints got to make something shake. That's either to drive, park, or trade a car. The Saints got to make something shake. And it's also got to deal with the draft. Will you sit and wait at number 9 to pick, or will you move up? Because right now the Giants tested out, did a private workout with Shedeur Sanders today.
No, it's Thursday. This Thursday. It's not.
Oh, it's Thursday.
Not today.
Okay, Thursday. Well, the Giants got to work out with Shedeur, period. So either way, Saints, what you gonna do? Because the Giants got him working out, and it's a bluff in your face, maybe. Do you just sit back and wait, or be proactive, move up, and get the guy you want? We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the other pro team in New Orleans. That is the New Orleans Pelicans. Y'all sit tight right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Hi, my name is Micah Higgins, head boys basketball coach at Bonneville High.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Auto Glass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504 301 8353.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Pepis.
Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504 940 7552.
Green Law Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 Westwood Drive, Suite B in Marrero, Louisiana. The Green Law Firm.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I am JB the Sports Guy. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm here, everybody. I'm here. My main man, George Pepis, and VK Jones. So we just talked about to either drive, park, or trade a car, meaning Derek Carr for the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Pelicans, everybody. My goodness, you heard the news yesterday morning. David Griffin, the executive vice president / general manager, was fired. Let go. And I just shook my head, and you go to my YouTube page, JB the Sports Guy, you'll see that. I did a little short video about it. A little short video, I did. It's like 50 seconds, maybe a little less. But it's no longer than a minute for sure. And I was just like, why? Why? Now, other people thought he should have been fired. But let's get into it. Let's get into it, people. Let's talk. The man got here. He traded away AD. He got all those picks from the Lakers. Got Brandon Ingram here. He's able to get Zion. He got Trey Murphy and Herb Jones in the draft. He got y'all all-time favorite Jose Alvarado. Yeah, everybody love Jose Alvarado. Y'all love him. I'm just saying. He got him here. He has a good depth, good core of players. Okay? He does. Great core. Even Valanciunas was a good piece of the puzzle when he was here. But guess what? The team can't ever stay healthy. Zion's never healthy. CJ McCullough, maybe the most healthiest one, but there's times he's been hurt. Oh, yeah, he got him here too in the trade. Herb and Trey been hurt before. Ingram was hurt this year. They got to the playoffs twice, but injuries have done them in. So why is that the fault of David Griffin? How? I don't understand it, people. I sit here and think if these guys were never hurt, you'll see a different outcome. We have a playoff team that will be in the playoffs every year. David Griffin, to me, did a great job of acquiring players to come here, to get them here, and it's a good enough roster to make the playoffs every year. But what can he do when they're hurt every year? And I still say to this day, for the Saints and the Pelicans, y'all got to check that medical staff. Y'all got to check them, because it just ain't right that all these players on both teams be hurt like this. Something ain't right with this medical staff. That's just me. Your medical staff, your strength and conditioning coach, hey, I said it. Something ain't right. But I don't understand. People say he been had to go. How and why? The man did a marvelous job getting these great players here. Great players. You realize we had 2 playoffs series. Zion didn't play in both of them. We had to win play-ins without Zion. Imagine if we had Zion. People, I need y'all to think logically. What y'all want him to do? He had a good roster here. You got to win continuously if you want this big time superstar here. Hey, we supposedly got a big time superstar. He can't stay healthy. He always hurt. He got baby mama drama. He got drama with porn stars and all that. I don't know what y'all want David Griffin to do. I think David Griffin came here and did a fabulous job. Straight up. To me, the man shouldn't have been fired. Not at all. And now supposedly Joe Dumars coming. I kind of feel bad for Willie Green. Because I think he might get the chopping block at the end of the season. Oh, season over with. So we'll see when they hire Joe Dumars. Because what is Willie Green supposed to do with a team that's always hurt? David Griffin, in my opinion, got the wrong end of the stick. Now, I don't know what George and VK thinks, but I'm going to let George go first.
Okay, and one of my coworkers yesterday told me the news, and I was in a spot where I didn't get a chance to see it until I got home. And when I got home, I mean, the story is old and cooked that David Griffin was given the axe. And I said, if it's true, it's a stupid move by Gail Benson. Completely stupid move by Gail Benson. 100% stupid. And yeah, I'm going to be strong with it. Why? That man, you tell me what trade he facilitated that was god-awful in a negative aspect for the Pelicans. There is not one deal you can tell me with a straight face that was garbage for New Orleans. In essence, Griffin manipulated a lot of stuff and moved a lot of things and got top-end talent. Now, the rumors I'm hearing, if it is Joe Dumars, the directive for Joe is that he's got to move Zion when he gets here. Find a suitor. That's out there. That would be suicide if you do it, Joe Dumars. Stupid move. Another stupid move if you do it.
Stupid? Zion can't stay healthy.
It is. Okay, wait. Let me go. And here's why I say it's stupid. Let's piggyback to something you just said about 3-4 minutes ago. That medical staff is pure, unadulterated garbage. You change that. You change that medical staff, and the directive is, look, man, strength and conditioning coach, you suck. See you later. Bye. Get out of here. Let's rework that whole staff. And it's no accident. CJ McCollum, a guy who could always stay healthy, was reliable as could be, is out 30+ games. Brandon Ingram was out for a lot of games, a guy that never had a lot of injury issues. All of a sudden, he's in New Orleans, and baya. No. So, and I don't believe that at all, Austin Tyler. I'm looking at that comment. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that.
He was out with a hand injury, then he tore Achilles.
Broken. Yeah,
hamstring.
Come on now.
Trey Murphy, this whole year.
I'm gonna throw this number out at you. 379. What is that? That's how many games cumulatively players missed. 379. All right? 379. You tell me how you could win more than 21 games with that fallacy. And then I don't appreciate you banging on Jose Alvarado, Mr. Spurs fan, sir. I don't like that.
Everybody loves Jose.
You talking about everybody loves Jose Alvarado. That sounded sarcastic, sir.
He's a fan favorite.
He is
fan favorite here.
But your tone, sir, was sounding a little sarcastic. It sounded a little. You had a little twinge of sarcasm, and I ain't hating. But listen, 379 is a very big number. Now, I don't believe.
Story.
Huh? If Chris Paul was here, yeah, we're talking about.
Maybe it's a different story then.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, New Orleans has the 4th best chance to win the lottery. The one guy I am fascinated to see, they're not, if they don't win it, if they could go to 2, I really want Dylan Harper on this team. That kid is a generational point guard. He's a great asset. And can you move DeJounte Murray off a torn Achilles? That'd be a tough ask to do. But, if they're talking about hiring Joe Dumars to facilitate a total rebuild, meaning Zion's out of here, that's ignorant. The medical staff needs to be reworked and changed. It's a simple solution with that. Now, Willie Green, he's probably, look, how many times have we seen new president, new GM get their guy? So Willie Green's not going to be the coach of the Pelicans, VK. I think the second Joe Dumars puts pen to paper, sees the landscape, says, hold on, we went from 49 wins And in the playoffs last year, the 21 wins, what happened? Now, somebody's going to have the die cast. They thought it was David Griffin. David Griffin is not the reason the Pels went 21-61. He is not. With the accumulation of picks that they got, he's not the reason they won 21 games. The thing is that this team, with the injury issues that they had, they regressed badly. I think they regressed horribly this year. 21 from 49 to 21, that's a 28 win deduction from last year. Somebody got to go. And for me, and I like Willie Green. Let me say this and state this unequivocally for the record. Willie Green is a very good guy, personable guy. And yes, it was an impossible roster to coach, but somebody's got to take the fall. And the wrong guy took it yesterday. I don't think David Griffin should be fired. He'll catch on with another organization and stick it to New Orleans at some point. VK.
Really, looking at the whole thing, I think it's a bad move more than anything else. That I think it's a bad move and I'm not surprised it happened. Really not, because the Pels, and I was hoping those moves would happen, but with the Pels having probably the worst season in the history of the franchise, you just had a feeling that somebody was going to take the fall. Somebody was going to take the fall, and it just didn't surprise me. It would be Willie Green. I was hoping it would not be Willie Green, but David Griffin, I didn't think he should have been fired at all myself, but it's just not surprising that it happened because somebody was going to take a fall. Because we've seen this too many times in sports when a team has a really bad season, and it's just because of the fact that unfortunate things happen, and it's not of that GM or that coach's control. But at the same time, what the owners do, they gonna do what they do, meaning just somebody's got to take a fall for this. And that's just what happened. I don't like it. If Joe Dumars have any kind of sense, you keep Willie Green. You understand and you look at what he went through and knowing that, okay, this man has not have a full roster, a full healthy roster, anything else. I need to give him a chance. I think he's capable of being really good. I think I'm not going to make a move on him. Plain and simple, we're going to find out what the real problems is and fix it. That's the mentality that Joe Dumars need to come in there and understand. The first thing is first, get rid of that medical staff. Get rid of it, get a new trainer, everything. Because it's like, hey, we got to get this right. We got to get operations all the way right, especially on the sports medicine side. Because people like DeMarcus Cousins is telling certain free agents, don't come to New Orleans. Because the one thing he said was about the medical staff. And that's not good if somebody is just straight up putting some salt in the game. So if Joe Dumars has sense, you keep Willie Green, you get rid of the medical staff. Now the Zion Williamson thing, I hate to say it, I had enough of Zion. I had enough. The thing is, and it ain't just about him being hurt and not being healthy. There's too much of him going on. Too much. And too much distractions, meaning it's going to pull down a team. So plain and simple, after what I've been hearing, he got to go. I'm sorry. He got to go. That's too much. If you can't control what you got going on personally, and you can't control none of that, and it ain't the fact he's good. He's talented. But you got to separate all this stuff. If you can't handle your own affairs and you bring it to the flow and bring it to your job or whatever, what else you think gonna happen? So I'm just really tired of it. I'm really tired of it. My thing is, I'm just wishing he was still healthy. If he all the way healthy, it's a different story. You know what I'm saying? I can oversee, but all this other stuff, it's just too much, man.
So is it
Man,
his fault? Is it his fault? His baby mama went to this girl house and
to be
started beating
to
her
be
up?
to be to be
Is that
honest
his
with
fault?
you, to be honest with you, no, I'm gonna say this. You make a good point, but here's the thing. Yes, it's his fault. You got to check that junk at the door. You can't have wild stuff like that happening like that. You can't.
It's not at
You
his
really
house.
can't.
He wasn't around. She went to that girl house on her own and beat that girl up in that girl house. That ain't Zion's fault. Nah, you can say
Well,
Zion
well,
wrong
well. Here's well,
for messing with more than one
not
woman, but Zion wasn't even around that. That's his baby mama that went and did that.
well, well. After all, well, she did it on her own, okay. But here's the thing. Like if you're a real man, you better step in and check her at the door after all that happened. Be like, wait a minute, what are you doing? Because we already know, people already know who you are, and my name's associated. So guess what? You're embarrassing me. So plain and simple, you got to stop. She should have just came in like it's not his fault that she came in and handled business. After all that, John should have been like, wait, hold on. You did what? Somebody's in trouble, and that's not Zion, it's her. It's like, wait a minute now. I'm the father. I'm being there for your baby and all that, and trying to be a family.
George,
You just and then,
cop,
but then on top of that, but
George,
then on
what
top
you
of that,
say?
but then on top of that,
We
with the
lost
with the
George. What you say?
female, it's crazy, bro.
I mean, it's like this, bro. Well, I think we got George back. No, we don't. Okay, it's like this. It's like this. Like I said, you want to be mad at Zion messing with more than one woman? Okay, fine. But he didn't make that lady go to that girl house and do that. That was her free will. But I will say this though, man.
It was.
It's it's like when it comes to Zion, we are holding on to hope. We holding on to hope with Zion. Like, yo, can he have a season where he's healthy the whole time? We are holding on for dear life with that. I think we got George back. So, George Peppers, your thoughts on what VK said?
He's straight tripping. He's straight bugging. Come on, man. I mean, I love you, VK, but my goodness. So he told baby mama to go beat the dog do out of that woman last week. I actually saw her because I work there. I saw her in the intake office in the processing area, and
Yeah,
I didn't say nothing. Whatever. I'm gonna keep it quiet. I'm not gonna say no more than what I'm gonna say. But
good.
you want to move Zion Williamson? Let me say this about Willie Green again. Nice guy. But what's the old axiom, Jared? Nice guys finish last. There are two coaches right now who have championship rings recently. I would make a phone call to one of them, Mike Malone, who just got whacked by the Nuggets. I don't know why that happened. Or Budenholzer from Phoenix, who got knocked off. I would look at those guys. They've got championship rings. Willie don't have one. And Mike Malone coaches generational talents. He had Nikola Jokic. He won a title there. Budenholzer, of course, he had Giannis. Giannis Antetokounmpo. So those are coaches that have won titles. If I'm Joe Dumars, see you, Willie. I'm not married to you. I'm going to get my guy. Now, if I get my guy and he says, let's trade Zion, which no coach in their worth their salt would move Zion Williamson. The medical staff's got to go. Once you get that squared away and let it be understood, change the conditioning program if you care. New Orleans basketball, if you care, Gail Benson, if you care, you make this work. Get this medical staff reevaluated because this staff is just pure, unadulterated garbage. Pure garbage.
Got to do it for
379
both
should
teams.
not be a number. Huh?
Got to do it for both teams. Can't
Well,
just
for
give
the
it one
Saints
for the
too.
Pelicans. Yeah,
But
both. That's what I mean.
yeah, for the Saints. Okay, I get that too because they've had a bevy of injuries. But 379 in a basketball season is suicide. It's impossible. It's impossible to overcome. Now you got the fourth best chance to win the lottery, and if you win it, you can get Cooper Flag from Duke, who qualifies, I think, as a generational talent. There are a couple of guys in this draft that if you're New Orleans, you better hope the lottery balls fall right. Like you can get Ace Bailey, you can get Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, Flag. There are guys that are going to be difference makers on your roster. Let's say you get one of them and pair up with Zion. With the roster they already got, and Trey, Herb, you know, and Zion, and you got other guys too. That's a playoff team again next year. But again, it's incumbent on the ownership to get this right. They've already made one bad decision in firing David Griffin. Don't do it again.
Let me say this. So, are y'all confident in Joe Dumars if he comes in here? Are y'all confident? I mean, let's talk about it. When was the last time Joe Dumars had a general managing position with an NBA team? It's been over a decade, man.
Like 12 years ago.
So are we confident and comfortable with Joe Dumars coming in here? I'm kind of like on the fence with it.
Not at all.
I'm on the fence with it. I'm being honest with y'all. I got to sit here and see what he can do. That's what I got to be able to see. When Griffin came in, I was kind of like, okay, I feel good about David Griffin. I really do. But right now, I'm on the fence with Joe Dumars. I'm not all that confident that he can come in here and do the right thing. I'm just not confident right now, but I will give Joe Dumars a chance. VK.
I'm confident because of the fact, to be honest with you, Joe Dumars should have been in New Orleans a long time ago. He's the last GM that bought the Detroit Pistons a world championship. So I'm saying that because of the fact he has
the same guy that didn't draft Carmelo Anthony, right?
Not that's his only screw up. Only. And that was devastating. I definitely agree. That was his only screw up. Everything else went so well. Multiple playoff appearances and two NBA finals and a world title. It's just something that I've been asking for the Hornets. Bring championship experience. Now Griffin has that. And I didn't want him to go. I didn't want him to go at all. But at the same time, I like Dumars. Charlotte, huh?
The Charlotte Hornets? You said the Hornets.
Did I say the Charlotte Hornets?
You said Hornets, yeah.
Oh, no, well, I meant to say
with the Pelicans.
Pelicans,
yeah,
baby.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't know if my bad. I was saying I didn't want Griffin to go because Griffin, I didn't want him to go because he is a proven winner more than anything else. Dumars has done it, and I'm saying that the fact of the matter is he has that experience. It is better to go with somebody that has that championship experience than somebody that does not bring anything.
Decade. We in 2025.
But he also has not gotten that opportunity since then either. Come on now. He should have had an opportunity. That's another thing too. He should have had another opportunity somewhere else.
Go ahead, George.
He did draft Darko Milicic ahead of Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it out there because Carmelo just got. Hold on, VK. Carmelo just got named to the Hall of Fame, dog. Carmelo just got named to the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Melo. As a Knicks fan, I wish he would have done more. I mean, I wish the Knicks would have done more for him. But I don't see Darko on the Hall of Fame list anytime soon. You, Jared?
Definitely not.
George, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it again. That was his only screw up. Did I just say that? How many? They had multiple playoff appearances.
What happened when the team went downhill and he was still the GM?
Can't hear you. What's the question?
I said, what happened when the team went downhill? He wasn't able to get that ship back up right.
Well, sometimes people had their time. People had their time. People did. You know what I'm saying? But he did his job. I ain't gonna lie. Everything went. They had to move on from him. But at the same time, we're talking about what he has done for that Pistons franchise when the Pistons franchise was trying to stay afloat. Remember, after the Grant Hill years, they struggled. So just saying, you know what I'm saying? You gotta look at his achievements more than the negative stuff. The one negative, like I said, I understand George brought it up. You brought it up, but I'm a man that said yes, that was a major mess up. But at the same time, it still don't take away what he has achieved as a Detroit Pistons GM. And for him not to get another opportunity, I'm just saying, because there's some GMs and coaches that has not got that much of an opportunity. Some have, some haven't. And Joe Dumars have not gotten another opportunity.
George,
Well, I mean, I think the points have been made. There's some points of contention, but if the rumors are true, VK, that Joe Dumars is going to come here on the directive of moving Zion and orchestrating a total rebuild, I think it's a complete fallacy to even take the job. And he's been out of GM work for 12 years. All right, that's a long time in the circles of the NBA. Mark Jackson has not had another head coaching job since the Warriors 86'd him,
and I'm
but
gonna
they've
say
got
tell
4
you, Mark
titles.
Jackson don't need another head coaching job. I'm like
He
that dude
won't.
don't need to coach ever again because to me that's a great motivator. Coaching wise, he ain't that. He ain't that.
Mhm. Coaching wants X's and O's. No, I agree with you. I see that. But I just mentioned 2 guys because if Dumars comes, the smart move, you got 2 championship coaches that have just been whacked by their respective franchises. Phoenix, look, your boy, the owner there, is becoming rapidly one of the
Well,
worst
is he?
owners in sports. The owner of the Suns, I forgot
Yeah,
his name.
Miz Ish
That
something.
dude is
Yeah,
horrendous. And Budenholzer's a,
it
huh?
starts with an M. It's crazy. Miz Ish,
I'm
Mish,
sorry?
Rop Ish. I don't know. That's yeah.
Something like that. But this dude makes Shot Khan look like the Latter Day Saint, dog, from the Jaguars. Um, Makes that guy look like a Latter Day Saint. With that said, Budenholzer and Malone are out there. Taylor Jenkins is out there. How did Memphis fire their coach?
Mm.
5th in the Western Conference. There are coaches that are better X's and O's men than Willie Green. Straight up. You know, I would look at any one of those 3 because I'm not married to Willie Green if I'm Joe Dumars. The smart move is get your guy in place and keep the franchise man in place in Zion and forget the tight leash. Every NBA player does gigolo stuff, but I can guarantee you he didn't tell his baby mama to go break into some chick's house and
Thank you,
beat the
Josh.
dog do out of her.
He didn't say
He
it.
didn't do all that. I can guarantee
Do
that.
that.
That's him. That's him. Thank you, Josh.
He didn't do that. No, he didn't do that. I know he didn't do that.
No,
Not at all. Not
not
at
at
all.
all.
I'm
But
just saying the fact that all this
but
going
here's
on
the
is
thing. David Griffin,
much.
David,
Go, George.
Go, Josh.
it's not his fault that they won 21 games. It really isn't. It's that incompetent, impotent medical staff. 379 is a number in baseball would be great as a batting average. In basketball, that's the little cumulative number of baseball of games missed. Uh-uh. You ain't winning with that. You really aren't. But if you're Joe Dumars, Willie Green's not your guy. I think it's time for a fresh voice. I like Willie. I think he's going to get another chance somewhere else. But I think you need to have a reboot. I think you have to you have to have some kind of a reboot. You know, you move Brandon Ingram, David Griffin did, on the idea that now your
Yep.
cornerstone is Zion. That's why you moved Brandon Ingram during the season. You made the decision that Zion's the guy we're going to build under. I hope when Joe Dumars gets here that Ms. Benson and whoever's above tells him, move him. No, sir. Because if I'm a New York Knicks fan, I'm calling the Pelicans and saying, what do you
Well,
want?
look,
I'm calling the Pelicans and saying, because I guarantee you they need a stopper like
look.
Zion on that team. You know, they got Cat, they got Brunson, but I would not mind Zion
We're gonna move
completing
this
that
along.
trifecta.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be done with it. I
Let's.
think Willie Green deserves another year due to the fact that every year that team is just hurt. Um, I am in agreement that the medical staff we got to do something about them, and whoever is the strength and conditioning coach for the Saints and the Pelicans, they gotta go too. They gotta go too.
See ya.
So
Mhm.
Zion, I ain't gonna lie, I'm on the fence with it because he always hurt. You know, play most of the season, so I'm on the fence with it. It's like, can you give me next year? Can you play 60 games No, not in 60. No, I'm not going there. Can you play 65 games out of 82? Can you do that next season? Please. But we will see. We're going to take another commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to go to college sports. And next week, we want to talk about the NIL stuff and what Nick Iamaleavia is doing from Tennessee to wherever he's going. Ronald Hunt, 3 coaches that were terminated in 3 years, all of whom coached in the NBA championship. That's Monty, Frank Vogel, and now Budenholzer. But back to what I was saying, we're going to talk about NIL stuff tomorrow, not next week, tomorrow. But I want to talk about, and I want the chat to get into this also, what is your thoughts if a certain coach leaves to go coach at another school and a player that played for that coach that left decides to go to that school where that coach is at? What's your feeling about that? Loyalty, or do y'all think that's loyalty to the coach or disloyalty to the school? To the player go with the coach or stay at the school? Y'all give me your thoughts right here on the Hash It Out Show.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985 266 0664, and don't forget to ask about their 1-week free special. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353.
Welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm JB the Sports Guy with George Peppers and VK Jones. So, what's y'all opinions on this? And I'm going to give y'all the story. As y'all know, when we had her on the show last week or the week before, Coach Ayla Gazzardo, the new coach at McNeese, the former coach of Southeastern Louisiana. Coach Ayla Gazzardo took 9 of her former players. Well, you really can't say former players. Took 9 of her players with her to McNeese State. Okay, so shout out to my man Marcus, for showing me this and everything. But there were some people that was upset with these players, saying they're not loyal to Southeastern at all. You need to be loyal to Southeastern. Southeastern's giving you a scholarship and this and that. But Coach Ayla Gazzardo and her staff are the ones who are recruiting players. They recruited these players. They work for Southeastern, but they're the ones doing the work. They're going out and get these players. Players want to play for a certain coach. And apparently, for 9 players to leave Southeastern and follow Coach Gazzardo to McNeese shows that these players fully like and respect Coach Gazzardo, period. So I ask, who should these players be loyal to? Should they be loyal to the coach or should they be loyal to the school? You tell me. Now, I'm going to sit there and tell you this. These players have to make the best decision for themselves. They do. For instance, Paris Guillory played for McNeese last year. Her coach she played for last year is gone. So Paris Guillory had to make a choice of, do I stay or do I go? Coach Gazzardo did everything in her power to keep Paris Guillory at McNeese because she was someone she recruited when she was at Southeastern. And Paris Guillory is the only one from the McNeese roster from last year that is staying on at McNeese. So they have to do what's best for themselves. But when it comes to loyalty, I would think you're more loyal to the coach. That's who came and got you. That's who recruited you. And now that coach wants you to come with her. I think it's more loyalty to the coach. That's just how I feel. You build a relationship with your coaches. That's the relationship you build. That's the relationship Coach Gazzardo has with her roster. It's not the school Southeastern. Yeah, you represent Southeastern, but who are you with every day at practice? You with those coaches. That's who you build relationships with. I'm going towards the coaches. Who you got, George?
You know, that's that's a story with a lot of layers on it, isn't it? You know, because now you're talking about loyalty, but to the people in Hammond in Southeastern, if the die was cast on the other foot, if those players were coming your way, how would you feel? Come on now,
I just
Taylor
use Coach
Gazzardo,
Ayla and them as an example. That's all. I use that as an example. It's not
right?
as a story,
But
but
let's
it's just
say
an
the
example.
role. Let's
Hit a roll
say
first.
she left McNeese. Let's say it was in reverse that she left McNeese to go to Southeastern, and those players came with her. How do you think Southeastern would feel? Oh heck yeah! An influx of talent on a team that won the regular season Southland title and fell just a bit short in the conference final. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm all in. But now it's happening that you lost all these people, and to your girl in McNeese, the one chick you mentioned, Paris Guillory, you said was her name.
Uh-huh.
Do you blame her? I mean, she sees
I
Gazzardo
mean,
and the influx of
she's from
talent.
Lake Charles. She's from Lake Charles,
Exactly. She's home.
so that's home
And now
regardless. But
I got a championship coach, right? I got a championship
yeah,
coach with players that contributed to a team that won 26 games last year. Yes, they fell short in the conference final, got to a postseason tournament and got absolutely demolished. But still, McNeese wasn't there last year. They didn't even make the conference tournament. So now I got this influx of talent. I'm siding with the coach too. That's where I'm leaning to. I'm siding with in this case with Gazzardo. And then you mentioned the Imaleva story. I don't know where you want to go with that
tomorrow,
because that
tomorrow
story is interesting. Huh? Oh, it's
we're gonna
tomorrow.
talk about that tomorrow.
Okay, but and that's going to be interesting to say the least. But with that said, VK, I guess I don't know if he's still with us.
He's there.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
okay, but yeah, VK, dude. I'm just throwing it. I'm just going to turn it to you, and it really, loyalty is a two-way street. We always say that because relationships are formed in the recruiting process out of high school. They blossom at the collegiate level. So to all those who want to start this about, well, she's ungrateful and yada yada yada. No, stop it. Gazzardo recruited all those players, and they're all loyal to her. What's the issue? I see none. What about you?
I don't think I see it either. I think you're supposed to be loyal to both coaches in the school, but in an exception to certain cases, like this is a case that this is definitely an exception because the fact of the matter is, like the fans, and I hate to say it, you're talking about the players ungrateful. Y'all ungrateful. Y'all ungrateful for what the run that Southeastern has made the last three is probably one of the best in a long, long time since maybe the 80s. So, since the Robin Roberts days and stuff, it's been a long, long time. But now you're saying, no, y'all ungrateful. Y'all need to be thankful for everything Coach Ayla has done for the program and all that stuff. But if you need to blame it on anybody, man, just you can't really blame it on nobody. She going to somewhere bigger, and you have to look at the whole situation in itself. The fans, they look at look what McNeese has comparing to what we have. Just saying, it's just affecting in general, and just let it go. I can understand certain players can just stay at the school because they love the school, they love the area. You know what I'm saying? We know one of the players that's originally from Hammond, not too far from it. And no one need. She loves the area, but if my coach leaves and goes to another program, but decides and be like, hey, do you want to come down with me and we can do our thing there? That says something a lot. That he tells them to, hey, come on down. It says that the coach really still cares about you and not gonna put you in a position of failure. She won't put you in a position of success, and that's what Coach Ayla is doing. What she's done has been unbelievable.
Sorry about the wait. Everything's fresh though. You have a
Thank
nice
you,
day.
thank you. So at the same time, I really think it's huge for Coach Ayla to do that more than anything else, to pick those players up and everything. But the game has changed. It's really, really changed, because it used to be just about both coaches and program and stuff like that. It's changed a whole lot, man. And I don't think that a lot of the fan bases is not with what's going on now. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard for some people, especially certain smaller programs, knowing that, hey, coaches are going to move on to bigger programs, and not just that. Oh, they're probably going to take some of the players with them. It happens, and this is the new game right now, and that's what it is. You can't get with it, you're gonna get lost, And I think the way it's looking right now, McNeese is I'm Ella Gazzardo and Southeastern women. I'm gonna say McNeese women is gonna look like the McNeese men and Will Wade these last 2 years, how they really took over the conference. And I think the women is about to make their run and make themselves known in the Southland Conference coming up with what they got coming, what the players that she didn't vote and came from Southeastern, but not just that, who she bought in. One of the big freshmen that she bought in was huge in itself. She bought in Carly Hamilton out of Huntington. And that right there is an icing on the cake of what she's already bringing.
That ain't all she brought in. She got Carly. She got Carly. We know about Dakota Howard was going to play for her at Southeastern. She got Dakota Howard going to McNeese. And then Jamara Bell, who also was going to Southeastern, she got her to go to McNeese also. So
wow.
Yeah. So Carly was going to Southern Miss, and Southern Miss staff, they got fired. She got Carly to come to McNeese. And the other two that was going to play for her, she got them to come play McNeese. But here's my question, man. What kind of food you got, bro? What kind of food you got?
George Pepper with this smirking and stuff. Thank you.
Okay, we heard you, bro. We heard you.
I know you heard me. I know you heard me, Jared. I know you did. The one person smirking, I know who it is. I recognize smirking anywhere. But I went got something from your favorite place.
What place is that?
Diarrhea Central, Taco Bell.
No, that's George's favorite place.
That's George's favorite place.
Yeah.
No, man. The only place in Louisiana, the only spot that has this place outside of Cane's, the other place you like.
Chick-fil-A?
Zaxby's.
You in
Zaxby's. You never heard of
Gonzales?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, never mind.
What a game? Where was the game?
The game was in Baton Rouge.
You just getting to Gonzales?
I actually got here not too long ago. I
we
was like
lost.
driving up in there, then I just took a stop.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah,
All right. I
took a
got
little
you.
stop.
Well, look, back to the topic at hand, y'all, because we're going to talk about the
Yes.
NIL stuff tomorrow and all that craziness. But for this right here, it's following the coach. You built a relationship. That's the coach you want to play for. So I totally get it. 9 players going with her. Two players that were supposed to come play with you, they going with her. And then you went and got Carly because their coaches got fired to come to McNeese. You caught you Paris Guillory. You was able to keep her, have her stay. Good. And then I think she got another big from a JUCO college, from Three Rivers Community College, I heard. I think she got a big from there. But look, like I said, it's the decision that's best for the player. They feel like, I'm going to stay at my school, cool. And I'm going to follow my coach. I think that's best for me, cool. But what we didn't tackle on is, what if a player decides to stay and the new coach come in and then tells the player, hey, I'm bringing all these players with me. I won't have a roster spot for you. I think it's best for you to hit the portal. Which has happened, people. You got to think about that also. That's why I'm sitting there saying the player has to do what's best for them. And if, like Paris Guillory, once again, I mean, she's sitting there like probably didn't know what to do. Had a good conversation with Coach Ayla Gazzardo, and Coach Gazzardo said it in one of the newspapers that I read it online that was a player she wanted when she was at Southeastern, didn't get her, and she said, "Now I had a second chance to get her and keep her, and we were able to make it happen." Players got to do what's best for them right now. That's what it is. And even with Nick Iamaleava, same thing with him. Do what's best for him. And we know what's best for him is money, but that's for tomorrow. But right now, these college girls at Southeastern McNeese ain't getting all these NIL stuff. Let's keep it real. These small schools, they're not. They are doing what's best for them, and I don't have a problem with them following their coach if that's what they got. If that's what they feel like doing, George.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, again, we're beating a dead horse pretty much now. I think it's fair to say, players, again, and I'll repeat the point for those that are just joining us. The relationships are formulated at the recruiting level in high school. In the collegiate level, they grow and they blossom. It's like a plant, right? It's like you grow in a garden. You want your stuff to be good and good and whatnot, but you're making players better when you have them under your tutelage. And then if you still believe in them, as Gazzardo obviously believes in that core talent that's going from Hammond to Lake Charles, because McNeese is an instant contender once they get there. There will be an instant contender for a team that lost 23 and 22 games in the last 2 years. They're going to be a contender again next year. And I don't know what the fall off for Southeastern.
I think, yeah,
they
I
might.
think so.
It wouldn't shock me. I mean, Stephen F is still a pretty good program. That could be a problem. They're going to be strong. Lamar usually has good teams, so yeah, they may have to fool with those people to try to win the title. But that being said, we talk about loyalty and everything else, and long term, Gazzardo is going to win there. Is that her last stop on the coaching trail? That's another story for another day. I mean, she could be a lifer, but people thought she could be a lifer at Hammond, but she saw opportunity, and her players are so loyal, VK, and it really is refreshing to a degree where players are loyal to their coach and they will follow them anywhere because the coach believes in them. Sadly, there are players that think for themselves and coach be damned. I don't give a if you recruited me, I'm gone. I don't think you believe in me, but Gazzardo has formulated such a strong relationship with those players from Southeastern. They're all trekking down to Lake Charles. And this is refreshing to see the loyalty manifest itself. And I, for one, again, to reiterate for those that are just joining us, I have no issue at all with this whole situation at all.
VK, last word on this topic.
I think it's the fact. I think it's the fact that looking at it, is the fact that the girls see it like they have a great relationship with Coach Ayala, but then on top of that, their best chance to win was with Coach Ayala.
Yeah.
So it felt like more than anything else, she's a little far, but not as far. And they feel like, hey, if we came here and killed it at Southeastern, what we could do going to Lake Charles and go and do what we got to do and win out there. So I really think that's probably part of it. And, you know, it's big and I'm telling you, this is going to look like what the McNeese men was the last 2 years when Will Wade came there. A big takeover. Yep. And it's going to start next season over with the women. It's going to be awesome. I really can't wait to see what happens. Where did Paris get? Did she transfer or did she stay?
What you mean?
She's staying.
Like, see, hold on.
So about the McNeese chick?
Yeah, she stayed, or she's in the portal.
No,
I just didn't hear. I didn't hear. Oh my God!
She stayed with
McNeese. Oh my God!
She stayed.
Woo!
Now, Jared,
I cannot wait.
How much more we're gonna go? But
I cannot wait.
I want to back.
Go ahead, George.
Go ahead, George.
I was gonna say, and not to get away from the subject, but we were talking about the Pelicans before, about Joe Dumars taking the job. What if Dumars takes the job and drafts Caleb Love? VK, you still gonna feel that loyalty?
Oh man!
Oh my God! You see, the devil's a liar. That's all I gotta say. The devil is a liar. He is a liar.
All right. So, everybody, that is it for today.
I just wanted to poke a little fun at him.
I know you did, man. Of course.
I know you did.
Of course. That is it for tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all for joining us. But we are back tomorrow at 7:00. We got a couple of other topics to talk about, but at 8:00, we do have a guest. He wasn't able to make it last week due to a scheduling conflict, but he is with us tomorrow night. The new head coach for the Archbishop Shaw Eagles basketball team, Coach Mitchell Johnson, will join us tomorrow night. We're going to get to talking, baby. Yes, we will. So he's going to be with us tomorrow night. So tell your friends, tell your family, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, tell them all. If you got nieces and nephews, tell them too. Tell them all. Tune in tomorrow. Before we go, guys, any last words?
Well, it's good to be on again tonight. Good show tonight and everything, man. Continue to like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show. Go onto the link, check out our website and everything, man. We're continuing to grow and grow as one of the best shows in the state of Louisiana. We got a lot about to be going on this show the last couple weeks and stuff like that. We got a lot going on for you, man. We might give you a little something about, you know, it's WrestleMania week, but at the same time, we're gonna give you a lot this week in the next couple weeks, man. He said no.
No. This ain't a wrestling show. No.
Come on, man. You know you got some fans. You know that's a big event. Just say it.
No, we are not talking about wrestling on the Hash It Out Show.
Well, we're getting it next year. No,
yeah, we're gonna be there.
But we do have WrestleMania 42 coming to our great city next year. That is going to be incredible. But you know, look what we got forthcoming. I mean, we got a great show tomorrow night. We're going to have Mitchell Johnson, as you mentioned, JB. We're also, in the next week, we got the draft, the NFL draft, which is, quote, the unofficial start to the NFL season. Hey, we also got the Zurich Classic next week. And you get the Masters champion.
Anybody got Jeff Duncan's number?
What's that?
Jeff Duncan.
I'll check and see.
No, I don't.
I have it. I'll check and see if I have it.
Because if we can get Jeff Duncan on next Tuesday to talk about the draft for the Saints, that would be great. I know we've had your boy 2 years in a row, but
Eric Asher.
Eric Asher, correct. If we can get Jeff Duncan on this time, that would be great.
Let me see. Let me see if I got his contact.
No, that said, we got the.
Go ahead, George. Finish it
All
up.
right, check and see that, VK. But yeah, we got the Zurich Classic with the newly minted Masters champion Rory McIlroy. What a final round Sunday at Augusta! That was incredible theater to see, and what a great playoff between him and Justin Rose. He won. So, with that said, we got that, and in 2 weeks' time, the Kentucky Derby comes up. Yours truly will probably be somewhere on some podcasts besides us flipping about the Derby and trying to put VK some money in his pocket like I did last year. My boy made some money off of me last year, so we're gonna try to repeat again. We'll see, but a lot of things happening, and looking forward to tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to the Mitchell Johnson interview. With the new head coach of the Archbishop Shaw Eagles. I'm curious to see, you know, how it's going to work, and I feel like you got a proven commodity in Coach Johnson. I think Shaw, if they could keep that pipeline right as far as getting that top end talent, they won't miss a beat. I think with his tutelage, I think with Coach Johnson's tutelage, the fall off is not gonna happen at Shaw. I think y'all gonna be just fine. Good hire, very good hire. But I'm looking forward to speaking with Coach Johnson tomorrow night on the Hash It Out show. Stay tuned, gentlemen. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, as we got a lot more than that coming forward. And I have something for the both of you guys that I was approached about yesterday for Legends Month, and I'm gonna throw it out for y'all. I'm gonna give it to y'all in the chat.
Thank you. No
And
problem.
and also
You're
we
welcome.
can't forget, in 2 weeks you talked about the Kentucky Derby, also the 2025 Region 23 baseball tournament. We can't forget about
Yep,
that either. And
not at
I know
all.
me and JB is going to discuss that as well, because now we have 4 teams in the tournament this year, 1 bid, and I already talked with the LSU units coach. He definitely wants to come on. So, we're going to try to have all 4 coaches this year to, just to really promote that tournament. So we'll talk about that, but that's another big event coming up in
Who's
Baton
hosting it,
Rouge
VK?
this year.
So
BRCC is hosting,
BRCC host.
and
Okay,
what I heard, it will be in Denham Springs this year. It'll be at Denham
okay,
Springs High School at their stadium. So that's what I
okay.
heard for the tournament. So it'll be May 2nd to May 6th.
Cool deal.
Interesting.
Well,
Awesome.
everybody, come back tomorrow. Tell everybody. Tell them subscribe. Tell them come back tomorrow. We need everybody here. I'm here sick, and I'm here. I am here. So if I'm here, tell them I'll be here. But for VK, for George Peppers, I am JB, the sports guy. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Make sure y'all tune in. Till then, y'all take... George, where the hell you going, man? Can you wait till I finish the goddamn show? Shucks. God. What the hell, bro?
Wow.
God,
And I'm still on here in presence on the road. That man's
Yeah.
sick. I'm coming in. You know what I'm saying? But Hash It Out show, baby.
All right, y'all take care. We out.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team. And
thank you for watching the Hash It Out show. Please like,